Hi Leo, welcome back to my channel, Karma Fox. I am doing your weekly reading. Hope everybody's well. I do want to take a second to remind you that this is a general reading. It may not resonate with every single Leo. So guys, just take what resonates for you. Leave the rest for someone else. Remember, the energies can reverse. So if it's resonating, Leo, get in where you fit in, but don't force yourself into a reading that's just not for you. Spirit, can I have the energy of the sign of Leo? Leo. All right, Leo, you are starting with the World in reverse. You have the Empress, and coming out together is the Chariot in reverse along with the Seven of Pentacles. All right, so I do like that you are in the Empress energy. In this particular deck, however, be aware that the Empress is very pregnant. Now, in most of the decks, the Empress is pregnant, but not all of them. In this one, she is. There is something here that is growing for you, or you want to grow. It's something that you're nurturing, that you're feeding, you're investing in. Be careful if you are not wanting to get pregnant, because if you want to get pregnant, it looks like the chances are pretty good this week, but if not, be very careful with that. Whatever this is that you're feeding, you're nurturing, you're trying to grow, it's something that was incomplete from before. There's a cycle here that has not completely cleared out, and I do feel that that is causing a little bit of blockage in this. And you may be trying to figure out what direction do you need to go in order to properly invest in this. I do see you being very patient. I see you trying to figure out what your next action is going to be. I also like, Leo, that you are in a very high vibrational energy. Your energy is one that you're manifesting. You're very kind. You're very nurturing. You're not chasing after anything. There's definitely a sense of loyalty here. So I like your energy very much. Let me see who's in your energy. Show me who is in Leo's energy. All right, the person in your energy, we have the Ace of Cups, we have the Five of Swords, and we have the Ten of Pentacles. So the person that's in your energy definitely has a lot of love for you. This could be somebody that, it could be like a renewal, because there's something here that is unfinished business, a cycle that hasn't closed out. This person, and it has to do with love, this person has a deep amount of love for you. However, with the Five of Swords, there's some kind of conflict that has occurred between the two of you. It could have been caused by other parties, but more likely you're dealing with somebody who, you know, they could be a little bit caustic when there's conflict. They might not fight fair, or they could, you know, play some sort of games, like emotionally. So be careful with that. I will tell you, this person does love you. They have deep emotions for you. And with the Ten of Pentacles here, they're thinking about this connection on a long-term basis, and they're willing to fight for this connection. What I'm also seeing, though, is that this person could be, in some manner, it could be family or close friends that may have created a little conflict between the two of you, so be very careful with that. Let me see the energy between Leo and this person. Six of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, so there's still some stuck energy here, and you're feeling it more than they are. I feel like they kind of just want this clean slate. There's things that you're saying, basically, look, there's unresolved issues here that we need to go over. We need to talk about. Whatever those issues were caused a considerable amount of chaos in this relationship. It could have been somewhere around the fall time frame as well. So this is causing that stuck energy. So be aware of that. Be very careful with that, because it could create more conflicts, because this person, like I said, is wanting a clean slate, whereas you're saying, no, we need to resolve these things. I do feel like even though there may have been a breakup with this person, or maybe it was just a conflict. Neither of you had quite moved on from each other. Let me see what is affecting the connection, because I'm not seeing a definitive ending here. Not that there wasn't. The Magician, you're both manifesting one another, and look at that. You have the Empress coming out right beside the Magician. So Leo, you are really, really good at manifesting right now. So really put your intentions out into the universe, because I feel like you are in this mode where you're high vibrational and you're literally drawing everything that you want into you. So I do feel that the person that is in your energy, I do feel like they are also manifesting you, because like I said, the two of you never really fully moved on from one another. Let me see your outcome. But do be very careful, because this person, they have the Magician coming out beside the Five of Swords, and that can be manipulative energy. So be careful with that. Knight of Pentacles. That's a solid offer, and it is moving towards you, but it's moving very slowly. Yeah, this is why you're trying to figure out which direction you need to move in, whether you should invest in this connection or no. I feel like the person that's in your energy, they definitely want something long-term with you. However, they're moving very slow. This offer is moving slow. Now, that being said, Leo, keep in mind that the Knight of Pentacles is the only knight that crosses the finish line. So it moves very slowly because it's earth energy, but at the same time, it's solid. So the bottom of the deck is the Nine of Cups. That is underlying energy. And what that tells me is that you are solidly trying to figure out what exactly it is that you want. You're moving towards your wish fulfillment. You see this person as being that, as being the person you want to be with, and they see the same with you. So let's clarify your reading. Spirit, why is the World in reverse for Leo? Why is the World in reverse for Leo? All right, we have the Two of Swords reversed, and we have the Star card in reverse. So yeah, you're basically saying, look, there are some things that need to be addressed, things that caused a lot of imbalance in this connection. And it looks to me as if you have decided that these things need to be healed. They need to be addressed. They need to be taken care of. I do feel like you never really moved on from this person if there was an ending. And again, I'm not seeing a solid ending, but it doesn't mean that there wasn't one there. I feel like your emotions with regard to this person, though, might be a little bit all over the place. And it might be because of all this stuck energy and things that have never fully been resolved. So let me see. You might be dealing with a Gemini. Let me see the Empress, please. Show me the Empress. Oh, you love this person. I feel like you're very nurturing towards this person, but be careful that they're not, you know, in some way manipulating you with regard to that. Show me the Empress for Leo. Show me the Empress for Leo. Yep. I went on the floor. Give me a second. All right, we have the Page of Swords, we have the King of Cups, and we have the Four of Pentacles. You've been holding on to this person's energy because you do love them. I do see you kind of looking into what's going on with this person. I also see you being very loving, very nurturing, very kind. You can be a little sharp with your words sometimes, but overall, I think that most of the time you're very loving and very kind. You might be trying to explore within yourself why you're holding on to this person, why you love this person so much. But I definitely feel like you also could be kind of checking up on them a little bit, making sure that everything is on the up and up, because whatever this stuck energy is, I feel like you might be checking to make sure this person is being honest. Because you are a little guarded with them, but I feel like you're guarded with them, Leo, because you know that they can be a little hostile at times, that they don't fight fair, and you also know that they can be a little bit manipulative. So let me look at the bottom energy. So it does make sense that you are a little bit guarded. All right. All right, 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. 7 of Swords reversed. That's why. That's it right there. And the 4 of Wands. So there was some sort of lying, cheating, stealing, something that was deceptive that was from the past here. And you have not gotten over it. You have not moved on from it. It's what ended this connection. Now I see the ending here. You want to invest in this connection. You want something that is solid, that is stable, that is committed with this person. However, you're not willing to move into that and invest into that until things from the past that were deceptive get cleared up. That makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. So I think you're being very patient with it. I also see, Leo, for some of you, that you may have parent or like family or some sort of community that may not fully approve of this person because of this past deceptive energy here. So I do feel like you want to heal it, but at the same time, you're kind of looking at it and you're saying, you know, I want to invest with this person. I want to, you know, have something solid with them, but is this the right direction for me to go? You know, things are not resolved here from the past. So let me look at their energy. Show me the Ace of Cups for the person in Leo's energy. All right, we have the 6 of Swords reversed, and we have the 6 of Pentacles. So this person can be very generous. I also feel like they're a very generous lover, but I also see that there's still chaos. There's still chaos, and they may be defending that chaos. Because we have the 6 of Swords reversed, and between you, it's the 6 of Swords reversed. So there's something, you know, like I said, it's something that was deceptive that is still not fully taken care of, not fully moved on from, and it's creating still some chaos in this relationship. Now, this person does want to have a clean slate. They want to balance things out. They may have been given their energy to more than one person or more than one situation. I do feel like this is somebody who may feel that they have a lot of responsibilities, particularly financially, that they can't quite get out from under. But they do love you. They do. And they want to balance this out. They are aware that there is something here from before that is causing chaos and has to be dealt with. They don't want to deal with it, though. Let me see the 5 of Swords, which I guess is normal, but not wanting to deal with somebody and then making the decision to do so. That's two different things. All right, we have the 3 of Cups. We have the Moon. We have the World. Now, you had the World in reverse and the Magician in the reverse. Interesting. I want you to be very careful with this person, Leo, because they do keep secrets. If they're going out with family and friends, if they're going out on the town, they don't tell you everything that occurs here. This person can be very manipulative. They would rather fight with you about it and basically manipulate the situation. This person could be a gaslighter. I do feel that in the past, things did not manifest the way they wanted them to, but I don't see them taking responsibility for the manipulation or, you know, just the mean. There's a mean disposition that's here for some of you. I don't see them quite taking, you know, responsibility for the way things manifested in the past. It wasn't what they wanted either, but this person does have a habit of going out. They could be a partier. They do keep secrets. And I do feel that ultimately, like I said earlier, they just want to close out this cycle. But the cycle was caused because of their behavior. And I feel like, you know, they just want to close it out and move on, but that's not realistic. And this is why I see you being very guarded. You could even be checking up on them to see if when they go out with friends or family, if they're doing what they said that they were doing. This person, when things didn't manifest between the two of you the way they wanted, I do feel like they were very depressed. I also feel like, you know, they tried to close everything out with you and just move on. They may have engaged in a lot of partying behavior at that point, but they weren't able to move on from you. We see that they were not able to move on. And so I do feel that they are manifesting this connection, but there's still some things here within their character that needs to be addressed. Let me see the Ten of Pentacles. They do view you as somebody who is long-term, somebody that they, you know, want to have a long-term relationship, stability. All right, we have the Six of Wands. We have the King of Wands. So I'm seeing strong, very strong Gemini energy here, but it could also be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Cancerian energy is here. And then we have the Nine of Swords. So yeah, this person's worried about what you're going to do. They're worried about what they need to do. They're worried about what you're going to do, because I do feel like you're holding them accountable, and that's causing them a lot of anxiety, a lot of concern. That being said, they know that what they do right now is going to have a big impact on whether or not this connection comes together. So they're losing sleep over what it is that they need to do, losing sleep over you and what you might do. Some of you guys are very successful, especially with this Empress energy, and that could feel very threatening to this person as well. Some of you might make more money than this person does. Let me see the energy between Leo and this person. Show me the energy between Leo and this person. All right, we have the Nine of Cups. We have the Three of Pentacles reversed, and we have the Five of Cups. There's that sad energy that I saw, possibly even depression. It was when this connection ended, and there's still unresolved issues about this. Now, do you want to be with this person? Yeah. You've got Nine of Cups underlying the reading, and you have Nine of Cups between the two of you. So that being said, they put you on an emotional roller coaster frequently, and you know that this connection has to be healed if it has any chance of, you know, becoming successful. And that's what you want to do. So I do feel like you want to do that. You might be kind of holding back and waiting for this person to put more energy into it. You may be trying to see what it is that they're going to do. I do see them looking back at everything that's happened. And I will tell you that when things ended between you and this person, they were really depressed. And for some of you, this person felt very unloved. They felt like, you know, everything was just gone, you know. They went through a hard period. And they still have a fear of that happening now. So they do have regrets about what happened between the two of you. And I feel like, you know, they have those regrets, but they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to resolve it. They don't want to go in and be held accountable for their actions. Let me see the Magician. Show me what's affecting this connection for Leo and this person. Ace of Swords reversed and the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so what's affecting the connection is that this person enjoys being single. That's kind of something they are keeping from you. One of the things they're keeping from you is that they enjoy being single. They enjoy going out, partying, you know, going out with their friends. But at the same time, they don't want to lose you. They are in love with you and they want success. So you have a lack of clarity as to what is really going on with this person. And that makes a lot of sense as well, because that's why you're listening to tarot. Wouldn't it be nice if people could just, you just press a button on their forehead and you just knew exactly what was going on in their head? I mean, because I can see there's a lack of clarity, and that lack of clarity, not discussing the things that are between the two of you that are unresolved, all of this stuff is creating a sense of you feeling that you have to guard yourself. Even though you love them a lot and you're very kind, you're very nurturing, there's also a sense of you feeling like there's certain things that you can't talk about because they get upset about it. They get mad. It creates conflict. And so you don't say things just to kind of keep the peace. So I do feel like you want this relationship because you also love them very much. But what I'm seeing is that, you know, the blockage between the two of you, what's causing this to be unstable is that work has to be put into resolving what caused this ending to begin with. You're ready and prepared to do that, but they kind of shut you down. So let me see. Show me the Knight of Pentacles. You're dealing with somebody that is very independent. They like making their own decisions. They do manipulate, particularly with regard to finances and money. They don't like to be seen in that way, but they do. And I do feel like this person might shut you down when you try to talk about what has happened in the past. All right, Ace of Wands reversed. We have the Four of Cups. We have the Page of Pentacles reversed. And then we have the Five of Wands in the reverse. Okay, so in your outcome, things are moving between the two of you, but my God, they're moving slow. And what's moving slow is this offer of a stable new beginning, like the stability in the beginning. You may have already had a new beginning with this person. Some of you have, some haven't. It's like the two of you are moving closer and closer together, but the problem is that it's so slow. And so I feel like at times you're bored with this connection. You feel unappreciated. You feel that this person is not really, you know, looking at what you're bringing to the table. They feel like you're spending too much time looking at the past instead of looking at what the two of you have. And so the two of you have very opposing views of how things need to be moved forward. And it's causing this to move extremely slow. Now there is this offer that that could be built upon, but it's not coming through here necessarily by the end of the week because it's moving so slowly. And so I do feel for you, be careful that some of you might feel like this person is just wanting a sexual relationship because we've already established that they enjoy being single. They enjoy going out with friends and family. I see you kind of checking up on them, seeing if they're where they say they're going to be, etc. So some of you might feel that this person's not offering you anything because they're just trying to have a sexual relationship with you, which is not what you want. And that might be why some of you are feeling a little stuck because you want to move things forward with this person. You don't know how this is going to go. And there's a fear that they're being deceptive with you and that ultimately you're just going to end up, you know, having to end the connection anyway. Now, in their energy, they don't want to fight with you. They want success. They want something long-term. They don't want to fight with you. They feel like you're looking too much at the past and not at what is currently present. That being said, I do feel like this person is proactive. So they are moving towards you, Leo, but they're moving incredibly, incredibly slow. And that is so frustrating. I get it. So I don't see this solid offer coming through by the end of the week. There's still going to be things that are not being discussed and talked about. However, you know, if you feel that this is your person and you want to continue to be patient with them, they do have solid and good intentions, but they are moving very slow. All right, so bottom of the deck is the Two of Pentacles in the reverse. That's underlying energy. It does tell me that you have made a decision that this is your person. You've kind of weighed up the pros and cons, but it also tells me that things are still unbalanced here. And so until things, you know, kind of balance out, what you're looking for to happen is not coming through. So only you can decide if you want to continue to put your energy into this person. But I do see that they do have good intentions, but they also have some issues that they really need to become more accountable about. All right, I'm going to pull an oracle card for you. Pulling for Leo. All right, Leo. So your card is number 18. Now, 18 condenses to a 9, which tells me you really are close to the end of a cycle here. And it's called the littlest blessing. And I don't think I've ever pulled that card, so I'm kind of curious. Give me a second. There is a little good fortune right at your fingertips. It is sweet and small, but it is this blessing that will see your energy open up to receive even more of the same. Destiny wishes you to be content, to feel loved, and to see the wonder in every small thing this day. Look about you, for right there in the smallest of places are the blessings you've been yearning for and yet missing. Open your new eyes to the world, and what once went unseen and unappreciated can truly be known for the very first time. Look with the eyes of wonder at the little miracles of the world. And when you do this, the gates to all good things swing wide open for you. I love that. All right, Leo, I hope that this has been helpful. If you've resonated with this reading, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and hype the video if you get the opportunity. Until I see you in your next reading, Leo, know that you are loved, and namaste.